Today, I'm very excited to announce Finland Education Hub's very first podcast. We take you back from where it all started, the vibrant city of Hyderabad. 4 years back, we started our first Finnish preschool in the city. Fast forward 2025, we recognize how crucial the city, its community, and the people have played in embracing and integrating the Finnish system of education in the city. Hyderabad for us wasn't just a testing ground, it was a thoughtful and a deliberate choice for the launch of Finnish education system. As of today, we proudly partner with 3 fantastic schools who are doing superbly well. And it was an obvious choice for us to start our podcast series here, spotlighting the stories of these schools, the stories of its founders, and the kind of impact it has had on the education landscape of Hyderabad. So let's get started.
Early Years Real Talk, a coffee chat with Changemakers. In conversation with leaders of change, they're not just preschool owners, they're dreamers, they're changemakers, and they're doers. They're challenging the status quo and shaping a new narrative for what early education can be in India. We will hear from them how their vision took shape and what inspired them. We'll hear about the Finnish system from their point of view. We'll also discuss where parents and teachers are struggling with their understanding of this new system and how did they satisfy their curiosity.
Good evening, and I'm Pranita. I'm the founder and director of Beautiful Minds. It's a Finnish-inspired preschool coming up in Mokila, Hyderabad. And background-wise, I am a military veteran. I have served in the Indian Army for 12 years. And later, I got an opportunity to work with the UN in South Sudan. And once I, decided to move to the education sector, I graduated. I did my PGD and PGCE in international education from Birmingham City University. Now I'm founding Beautiful Minds, and the school is coming up very well. The Finnish curriculum is very innovative, and that's how. That's the way we look forward now for everyone to come to Beautiful Minds. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sindhu Krishna. I'm currently the founder and the principal at the Little Titans Preschool. I'm actually an engineer by profession, but I started my journey into education through Teach for India, where we adopt a particular classroom and then think about the learning outcomes. So primarily post that, over a few years, I worked in upskilling principals. So I was more into working in underprivileged classrooms and settings. But once I had a child is when I realized the lack of resources and the knowledge in terms of early childhood education. And when you're into the education system for a while, you know that Finnish curriculum, and then there's Montessori, there's Reggio Emilia. These are the kind of things that really bring out the best in a child. So that's how the Little Titans came up with a very blended approach of 4 different curricula. There is Finnish curriculum in that, there is Montessori, there's Reggio Emilia, as well as the National Education Policy 2020. So this primarily, we're trying to create learning in the form of which is research-oriented, data-oriented at the same time, where teachers are given a lot of autonomy and there's a lot of freedom and love for learning in the classrooms for the children. So yes, that's about me. Thank you.
I'm Akila Dasari, founder and a director of this FinKids International School. I'm from a techie background. I don't have any prior experience in education, but hearing this Finnish practices in India, it was blended smoothly, and happy to hear that we have 100 plus kids with us, and parents also accepted the system very well.
Hi, Sindhu. Thank you for joining us today. We have known each other since 2021 when you were right from Teach for India, and you floated the idea of the Little Titans. And coming from Teach for India as an educator, having educational background, you progressed to deciding to open your own school, which at the moment is doing great. Talk to me about this journey and your struggles that you have encountered from Teach for India until the Little Titans.
Thank you for having me here, Ashish. It's a pleasure. I'm glad I got to see both of you. It's been a while. So, yes, starting the Little Titans, I think it was never on our mind. If you ask me back in 2015, when I was joining my fellowship, I never envisioned starting a school and especially a preschool. So it's a complete shift in my mindset how the journey went through. First, I was a fellow, and then I was a principal trainer. I was upskilling them. I was more into that. That's when I had my little one. Me and Harsha became parents, and everything was at a halt. Like choosing the right preschool for her. How do we really choose a preschool? We were going through so many, and that was just the time when I think she was 2 months old in my stomach. That is how she was. And we started thinking about preschools. And that's when there was no school satisfying the needs, especially we're from Secunderabad. Looking around schools over there, trying to see where skills are there, being taught. There's creativity, there's curiosity being nurtured. There's a place where they have lots of laughter, lots of joy, a place like second home for them. There was nothing around in the vicinity for us. So that's when we had to take the plunge, and that's when Harsha met you, and we started the idea of the Little Titans. It definitely was a shocker for my parents because we are from the background where everybody works in a certain place. So starting a business was like, you want to start a business, and especially a preschool. How are you going to do it? Are you going to take a room? What does it look like? There were too many questions. So it took us a good 6 months to convince our parents before we even took a step to start a school. So that's where the first step towards making the project happen started. And post that, actually from day one, I would not say that it was easy, but we took a good 2 years time to build everything. We were trying to be sure of every single action, like right from how we want the staircase, how do we want a certain room, how the furniture should be, how should the table be. I would take my little one, she was like my, prototype, and test for everything. I would take her, make her sit there, make her walk the stairs, try to see is she falling. I remember having conversations with you, that is it okay to have staircase?
No, we did a visit, and it's reflective that you have really taken so much thought and nurturing. I always say, you've nurtured the school so well that it's reflecting in the space and when the kids are around. So absolutely.
Yes. So yes, I think it was a big challenge for sure, because the area we started was AS Ramnagar, Sainik Puri. That's a place where kids are really, parents, everybody's hardwired into traditional methodology of teaching. So it was like, actually, if I had to put it in a metaphor, it was like dropping a UFO over there, Suddenly, like, what is this? So what are people talking about? Finland education, what is happening? And that's when COVID also, subsided. People were starting to join schools. So there was a lot of conversations, a lot of transparency, a lot of honesty, and a lot of proof points, It took us a good 6 to 8 months to convince every parent, because everyone would be like, activities, all of that are fun. But when is real learning starting?
True.
What is happening? So yes, it was a good journey, and I feel it's all worth it right now, because the parents who were actually questioning back then are advocating for us right now.
That's
it
wonderful.
feels like a good earned effort. Yes, and it was all worth it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Pranita. Welcome to our first podcast, and thanks for joining us today. When I spoke with you first, I was a little bit surprised because, I'm sorry, we went behind your back and scanned your LinkedIn profile where it said you are a defense veteran with, some incredible years of experience there. And then when you talked about opening a Finnish preschool in Mokila, it took me a while to connect the dots. So leading such a I would say prestigious good life in defense, and then deciding to set up a school coming from that background? Like, how would you help us connect these pieces and talk about what came into your mind and what was your thought behind doing all of this?
Of course. So thank you for actually bringing out, but this is the most common question I get from everywhere.
I think if you answer it, it'll be good for our audience
Yes,
to
of
know
course,
as well.
yeah. So I have really not yet found a truly logical answer to it, but somehow it always felt right. When coming to this podcast, I really thought in depth, and I realized that a lot of influence I think I had from my childhood, and like my parents, they always gave priority one to education. So best school, or not the best school, but a space where actual learning will happen.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. The school was awesome. My teachers, like they actually lived for what they were doing, and this had me thinking that okay, this is one sector where you can actually contribute. It's kind of a service, and then that was always in back of my mind. And when I joined the services, when I was working, the thought kept coming in again and again. Okay, I should do this. I should, even if I'm doing some other job, I should have a school of my own or a learning space, where just children are coming and just learning. I had not decided, okay, preschool, what curriculum school or anything. Just they come, they freely learn, and they decide what they want to be, what they want to do in the future, and they create their own future through the education system.
Right.
So that always felt right to me, and that's why I feel that somehow lifelong learning, education, whatever you call it, it's very close to my heart. And yes, of course, as others have also had the same experience, once I became a mother and I started, experiencing how my daughter is learning, how is the education system, I myself found some gaps, or I felt that, okay, this could be a little better. Even if that is not a gap, it could be a little better. What could be done? How can we upgrade it? And with the changing world, somehow I felt a lot of innovative approaches are required.
Yeah.
And that's how I decided, okay, now this is the time that it's a huge system, it's a very deep and very tall system. So maybe we can't change the system, but we can take one step at a time.
Right.
And that's the reason I thought, okay, I'll start something on my own. Luckily, when I was browsing through different approaches, when I did my research, Finland curriculum is something I really, it encouraged me, it inspired me in many different ways, because my research was in storytelling.
Yeah.
And so I did my PGC and PGD through Birmingham City University. So as it is, the curriculum was quite open-minded, being an international curriculum. And in Finnish curriculum, I somehow found that the traditional values or the systems could be maintained, and still in an innovative way, schools could be they could do the job with what they're supposed to do.
Right.
And then later it was like, why not begin from the beginning? So that's the reason of preschool.
Fantastic.
But the goal was always a school. But yes, now the preschool, Beautiful Minds, we are there.
It's
born.
beautiful. Yes.
And we hope we grow along with everybody else. The children are happy, whoever they are there, and we plan to continue same journey.
I think an important point you raised is the trigger when when you think about your own child.
Yeah.
And currently the system lacks good environment, good education. It's thought then that comes where you want to set up your own school or provide an environment which is taking care of children's needs and their learning experiences. So thank you. Hello Akhila, welcome to our podcast. Thank you for joining us today. 2.5 years back, I was speaking with you and Uday, and what I understood is both of you are from technology background, tech background. And again, it was intriguing for me to understand how a transition from tech to setting up a school And it's when we look at the numbers, you have 100 happy kids in your school, which is fantastic. It's doing superbly well. Tell us a little bit about how you have made it happen, how this success came into being, and how you're sustaining this. Getting admissions is one part, but being able to continue to grow and also keep those children and parents happy is a very different experience. And not having prior experience in education, still being able to deliver what you're doing. So that's good.
Thank you for making me be a part of this. And yes, Uday and me are from tech backgrounds. We don't have any formal experience in education, but that helped us in a favor.
Okay.
Like to look every aspect, every perspective with a fresh lens. Like instead of following the traditional education systems, like we need something different.
Right.
We need something different where we should create a stress-free environment by the child.
Yeah.
And we have to create a place where child is like to feel or to express themselves. If they done with mistakes also, that's okay, no problem. They learn from that mistakes. So such kind of environment we have to create it. Firstly, while hearing this Finnish system about this, like we felt very happy. That is, when we approached you, like up to that we have not heard about this. Like, is the Finland is the world's best education system? Like,
Right.
we did not heard about it. Like we felt very happy. Like we have totally surrounded up with a traditional education system.
Yeah.
Where A for apple, such kind of thing. We were totally surrounded. Like our area is completely surrounded by such education system. Like we felt very happy. One side we have it that fear also. Like even as a parent, like I'm accepting it. Like it happens from the same from them. Like they are going to accept the system or not.
Right.
What kind of questions we are getting from the parents.
Right.
We have to get ready for all those things. Like this Finnish practices bringing lively to the children or to our area. Like first it resonates like what we call as a parents we were feeling very happy to opt the system. Then as a founders actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the 21st century challenges that we are facing now? What do parents and educators need to focus more on than earlier times?
Child is now growing in a fast-paced technology where it has its own challenges, like screen dependency and like emotions disconnect, like a short span of this or patience got such kind of thing. And we need to focus more to get rid of that. In like usually it's to be like when we used to do that, it's very education is very simpler and it's going in a smooth way. Nowadays, it's not like that. Child needs more emotional guidance and more what we call techniques to get rid of that stress and everything. And as a parent, they should not look at the outcome. They should connect more to the children and they should like as a teachers or parents, we both should work as a team.
Parents often ask us, how's the Finnish methodology different from the traditional setup? Having implemented this in your school for so many years now, what's your point of view on the differences in this system in comparison to the others?
So yes, I get this question a lot. So I feel when it comes to the Finnish setup, like when it comes to Indian, like our traditional methodology, we are so hardwired in our approaches. It takes us time to really give it time to see the result. I think if I have to start off, I would state that first Finnish approach is all about 5 domains of learning, you know. That's the 5 stages you go through. There are 5 domains which focuses on academics, it focuses on your overall physical growth, your cognitive growth, your creativity, your expression. These are the different forms that are there. That's the first part of it, which is very different from our approach. Second, I would say that a teacher is not a instructor over there, they're a facilitator. So their time mostly goes into observing the children, trying to see what is this child's particular need, and then cater to that need, and then make her plan in such a way that it is data driven, but at the same time the child is happy doing that. So there's a lot of heart into that content as well. Another, I feel the third aspect is usually in an Indian system, in a classroom, a traditional classroom, you have the theater style of seating. But here we don't really force the child. There is a lot of freedom in the classroom, but within limits. That's how we usually do it in the Finnish setup. So the child is free to question, free to just, wander off for a minute, then come back and then get back to the task. Because we are not looking at any milestone that a child has to achieve. That's the fourth thing. There's no rush. There's no rush to, start my writing, finish my writing, no writing and reading by 4 years. And that's the best part. I feel when you give it time, the roots are deeper because when you start at a later stage, the children are more ready and more receptive to learning. And that's what Finnish methodology of approach, their system is different in that way. So I feel there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of freedom of expression, there's everything that a child would want to do it in their own way possible. So yes, that's how it's different.
Thank you.
Yes.
So we're in the generation of Alpha. Generation Beta will start attending school soon. How have the needs of children changed in this era? What should we be doing and what are we doing instead?
Yeah, so I think it's a very genuine, demand or a question for now. And there'll be varied answers, mostly confused ones. But what I have realized is the children who are born now, or even in Gen Alpha, Gen Zs, they are born and they are growing in a very stimulated environment. Like, not only the screens, but otherwise also the world is so fast paced. Everything is changing, like within 6 months, new technology is coming up, some new development is happening. So when they're beginning the journey of their education, I feel a lot of emotional regulation is required. They need to grow up where, they have the autonomy, creative problem solving is required, critical thinking, all these skills. Somehow from our earlier traditional ways we are forgetting, and what's happening more of now because of like few years back a lot of focus was on mark sheets or a specific industry kind of a degree is required. But with in this VUCA world, somehow we need to come over that mindset. We need to focus more on lifelong learning skills like critical thinking. Are they thinking what they are learning, and are they prepared to be adaptable as per what today my child graduates and has not yet decided or decided already, okay, I want to do this, but within 6 months the field is like vanishing and something new is coming up. So we need to prepare them for adaptability, flexibility, to evolve with and be upgraded along with how the world is progressing. But we still see most of the parents or most of us, like even we want, the first question is, okay, what is my child learning? Will he or she will be able to write, be able to speak, and how will the maths progress if you're not play? How will they learn numbers, addition, subtraction? So instead of these rigid assessments, mark sheets, degrees, qualifications, now even the industry, the world is asking for more is adaptable, skilled professionals. So that is what I feel we should be focusing more on. That is how the generation will be prepared for it. Otherwise they would be having a lot of emotional challenges. So yeah, that is what my opinion or I feel about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Superb. So, all three of you are mums, beautifully handling your centers, your schools, your entire setup. How do you balance motherhood and entrepreneurship? Do you get any moment to switch off? Let's start with you, Sindhu.
So I think I'm pretty old school in that way. The moment Harsha and I knew that we were going to be parents, I made sure our in-laws moved in with us so that she would get the love in case we are not able to. We get too busy with our own careers and all of that. And I also stay about 20 minutes away from my parents' house. So that way we manage any free time she gets all the attention that she can do it. That has been the most supportive structure for us since when we started the school. The first 2 years, yes, I dedicated myself completely to her. I didn't pick up anything. I was just with her. But post that, she's been with me. She'll be coming with me to the school. So it's been a learning experience with her. I've already mentioned she's my prototype.
Akhila, how has it been for you?
Yeah, thanks for asking these questions. Being a motherhood and entrepreneurship is not perfect anytime. Like balancing both is a difficult one. But as a mother, we have such patience, kind of things, kind of empathy. This both features that helped our school to shape, like such thing. Like
That's a lovely thought.
Yeah.
So, Pranita, how's your journey been?
Yeah, so I think so my entrepreneur journey has been like for past 8 to 9 months, and both together I feel it's wild, but it's really a beautiful juggle. And I think I had a very good support system in many ways. My family, like, they were always there, and I think the strongest anchor was my husband, because there were so many breaking points. Like, weakest of my point, like, it's like break or make, right? So during those points, those moments, he's given me that push, and which kept me going. So along with him, my mom, or even my extended family, they have always been encouraging and supportive throughout these moments, or throughout any of the times, instances when I'm not available as a mother. So they've been there for my daughter. And the best part in this was my daughter is kind of my partner.
That's so lovely.
So because now she is at an age, because she has her own so many ideas. So most of the brainstorming, I have done with her.
That's so nice.
And you have seen the school, so
Yes.
even lot of stuff she's given which she's no more using it,
Yeah.
and books, toys, and so many things. She's literally arranged so much of my school by herself, all by herself. And if someone disturbs it, no, she really gets unhappy about it. Why have they moved this from this place to this place? So that way, I think, she's really been a great companion in this. And that way, the journey was awesome, and it's still going on. And I could manage the being a mother part in that, because now she's at an age, she's at least her few chores she does on her own. Some support every child needs at every moment.
Yes.
So those times I could really take out for her. And I've always, ensured that that time is her time. So throughout my career, it's the managing things. Somehow I have now learned it through tough times. And the second part, switching off, I have never really felt, though sometimes it was exhausting. But the school has spaces where they're like they give me that calm and quiet. So I just go maybe in the library and sit there, and I don't know, it's a calming place. It suits me. So that switch off or switching gears was not really
You found your
required.
spaces in your spaces.
Exactly. So all of the support, and of course the school has kept me going. The journey has really been wonderful, and I think I'm learning a lot through it. So it was good.
No wonder, we call all of you all inspiring. That's absolutely great. Thank you.
Sindhu, we visited your school 2 years back. Or no? 1.5 years back, and we met some parents. They were very happy with what you're doing, but they also had a question. What's next? So, in terms of the progression, in terms of how do you see your school evolving, have you thought about something? Have you planned something already, or what's your next move in growing this further?
As much as I'm comfortable just sticking with the preschool sector because I'm cozy there, I know my things and all of that. There is a lot of pressure from the parents to go higher up. As of now, Harsha and I, neither of us want to extend there, but rather we want to go even more into the parenthood aspect of it. We want to nurture the parents more, make it into a more of a community hub so that children, we are trying to raise together all the generation gap that's happening right now, whether it be related to technology and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at going further, like, catering to kids who are, right from the toddlerhood, right from the moment they turn 1 year, or maybe the parents who wish to conceive, any sort of things. That's the aspect I'm looking at, so that there's more, more conscious parenting that's going to happen.
Sure.
So that we can, stop any sort of further damage that happens when children are there. So that's the kind of, we're trying to work on building a more aware ecosystem.
Okay.
I would say it.
Okay.
So that's something on the cards right now. Yes.
Thank you. So, Pranita, my next question is to you. And congratulations. I understood that you had a parent orientation session, which went well. You were interacting with the parents. Now, what we have realized is that parents come with very different expectations from a preschool. And sometimes it's tough handling that bit. How are you going about educating them, helping them understand, what the child's journey is going to be at your school? And then, are there any situations where you get stuck and you feel that, it's hard to kind of overcome the kind of gap that parents are coming with?
See, when you said that they're all of different expectations, and really when we talk about personalized education for children, I think the same personalization applies to parents as well,
Well said.
because everyone who comes, out of 10 questions, 5 will be very common questions, but then the other 5 would be like very peculiar to that particular family or that particular parent.
Yeah.
And the gap that I've observed, or maybe this is a little new system for them, that's so the gap I feel is, it's good that they're exploring all kind of approaches,
Yeah.
but the unawareness or lack of knowledge of these different systems or curriculums is what confuses them, and that's the reason they're not able to decide how. And as it is, it's a very new journey to all the parents. It's early childhood, so
Yeah, absolutely.
the first step, everybody wants to be the best. This is now the first step, and it will be the best throughout the lifelong for the child.
Yeah.
And it's very natural, but that way what we are doing is, once the child actually comes, when we are orienting, we encourage, please bring the child.
Okay.
Because if only the parent comes, they are clueless how the child is adapting to the learning areas, the space. So most of the times I always encourage them, please come with the child. Once they see the child is very happy in the school, exploring different areas and moving around, learning or talking about it, the happiness is reflected on their faces. Then the parent somehow, they try to understand, they start to deep dive into what is this space exactly all about, and what is play based learning or experiential learning. And then they stop thinking more about how the child, whether my child will do worksheets or will start saying ABCD the next day. So that is one approach which has worked for us. And of course they have been we are also promoting or encouraging parents to come together, have an interactive session, so that the mindset, it becomes a little open-minded, and they are along, when one parent interacts with the other parent, it's kind of a peer peer reflection, you can say, which gives them more insight. Okay, this is what is happening now, and how the world is changing, and what is required for the child at that specific age. So that way, that is another thing which we want to do. And we have had, like, parent orientation was one platform we did. I had few, informal chats kind of thing with few parents together. So these 2-3 approaches is what we are planning to do furthermore. And there's another one where we also want to involve the parents into the activities along with the child, so that reflective, reflecting thought is there. Okay, how exactly the system is working, how exactly this method is working for the child
firsthand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is another thing which we would like to do when we are, encouraging, or we are telling parents about the Finnish curriculum system, and how our core values of Beautiful Minds is aligned with the system, and how it is using, like, how this innovative approach is helping the child to grow or enter the world of education,
That's
start the
wonderful.
journey.
I really love what you said. We talk about personalization for kids, but we also need personalization.
It has
for
actually
parents.
been, the
So-
more I have prepared, every parent gives me something new. So,
Right,
so it's
right.
like new.
It helps
All right.
us reflect.
True. My last question is to Akhila, and this is around teachers. You have a good team of educators. We're working very closely with you, with the children, and with the parents as well. Help us understand. How do you ensure that they are learning on a continuous basis? They are able to update themselves. They are able to conduct research if needs to help them with their classroom delivery and educating the children. But at the same time, how, like, give us a few ideas as to how do you work on retention of those teachers, along with the upskilling bit.
From the beginning, in recruiting part, we are not just focusing on the qualifications.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
we have been observing their mindset, whether they're able to relearn or again and again, how patient they were in opting the system.
Right.
And most of the teachers, like, few of the teachers are from written from the years, like the child been gone through this early years over there, so they opted the system very like, even some of the teachers can well able explain these things to the parents, like, there is no problem at all. When they go to the higher educations also, they feel very confident. We can make a confident child that I can give guarantee because my child have gone through this early years.
Yes.
Such kind of examples I heard from them, like, it's
Wonderful.
truly amazing from the teachers.
Thank you so much. I mean, very insightful.
That's a
what-
real experience today also. Even Gayatri's,
How she spoke today really reflected, her journey.
Yes.
She spoke
Very,
really
very
well.
relatable and very relevant as well.
There for a while. Yes.
Great.
3 minutes.
Thank you.